What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fairweather Rider channel. For those of you joining me for the first time, I am Peabo the Fairweather Rider. The goal of this channel is to document my journey to become a better rider. You'll see me during practice sessions where I practice the slow speed maneuvers that are done on Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle, Robert Simmons' channel. I do occasional travel, and when I purchase things specifically for my Indian pursuit, I'll do product reviews. For now, I'm on a mission in pursuit of Memphis, Tennessee, going there to check on my dad to see how he's doing, and other family members. I'm about to get on this road, put some miles on this Indian pursuit. I also had to purchase a new chin mount kit for my motorcycle helmet, so I'm also checking that out to see whether or not I'm able to get good footage from my helmet with this new chin mount. We'll talk about it on the ride there. We're already prayed up and now we're ready to ride. What's up, family? Fairweather Rider on another mission. The last video I recorded of me going to Memphis, Tennessee, I was riding with the Buffalo Soldiers. Today I'm on a solo mission. I'm not in search of bikes, blues, and barbecue. I was born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee. So this time I'm on a mission to visit family. Mainly to visit my dad. Some may call this a wellness check. Going to check to see how he's doing. So this weekend I'm going by myself, and next weekend I'll probably be going with my immediate family, meaning wife, and I'm going to invite any other my children who want to attend to come with us. On one of my previous videos, I said that my goal was to put 10,000 miles on the pursuit this year. After I return from this trip to Memphis, I should have over 4,000 miles for the year. So I think I'm on pace to accomplish my goal of 10,000 miles. I have at least 4 more rides with the Buffalo Soldiers this year. My next ride with the Buffalo Soldiers will be going to Houston, Texas. We're going to ride to Concord, North Carolina. So those 2 rides will probably be close to 2,000 miles. Then sometime in maybe October, we're going to ride to Little Rock, Arkansas. I have at least 1 more ride planned with the Buffalo Soldiers to Memphis, Tennessee this year. We're probably going to ride to Baton Rouge to link up with that chapter of the Buffalo Soldier at least once this year, if not twice. And as I said on the prior video, I'm going to link up with some soldiers and we're going to ride to Covington, Louisiana. And from Covington, Louisiana, we're going to ride across the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway. So I definitely think I'm on pace to put that 10,000 miles on the pursuit this year. And as I said before, once I get up in that 20,000 mile range, that's when I'll start to look into the possibility of adding another horse to the stable. This will always be my long range touring motorcycle. So any bike that I add will be my extra bike that I take for short rides. So some of the rides that I talked about previously, I didn't get a chance to get to. And that was my fault because I did not plan properly. So let me talk real briefly about the 2 events that I'm talking about and how I plan to approach them going forward. The first one is Just GQ's Unleash the Peace. And the second one is Traveling Tall, Run to the Hill. So now that I know that Just GQ plans this event around Memorial Day every year,
I know that I can make that ride to Slidell, and it'll probably take me about 3.5, 4 hours to get there. I can actually leave the morning of the event, at least the morning of the ride, and get there in time to do the ride, and then come back the same day. So the thing that I would have to decide is whether or not I want to go the day before and stay there overnight. But now that I know exactly when the event occurs every year, I can plan better and plan to be there next year. For Traveling Tall, that's looking at some of the history of when they occur, it seems like they always occur during that first weekend of June, the first full weekend of June. I didn't really have a conflict that prevented me from going. I just did not plan properly. So you know how they say, when you know better, you do better? Now I know better. For Just GQ's event, when I looked at some of the videos from this year, I actually saw some Buffalo Soldiers attending the event. So I'm gonna see if I can get that event added to the calendar for next year. Where we ride down, maybe do a day ride, where we just ride there, go on the ride, and those who want to stay overnight can stay overnight, and we just ride back the same day. But now that I know what it is, I'm a big fan of planning things out before I just do it. So I'll be there next year for sure, unless something unusual happens. And when I say I'll be there for sure next year, I'm referring to the Unleash the Peace event. I plan to be there next year for sure. So I'm going to do some riding right now, and I'll check in with you guys once I get to my first gas stop. You know what it is? This is the Fairweather Rider, and I'm putting some miles on this Indian Pursuit. Let's go ride. What's up, family? I decided to make a quick stop at this Why Not stop that I'm about to approach. Not because I need gas, but to be honest with you, I just need to get off this motorcycle for a few minutes. And besides, let's practice this U-turn. See if I can how close I am. Yep, I'm getting there, family. As I said before, my goal is to get that U-turn down to less than 22 feet. So, I'm gonna keep working. Stay with me. This is the Fairweather Rider. I'm not gonna get gas, but I am gonna go in here and get me something to drink, get off this motorcycle for a few minutes, and then we're gonna get back on this road. Like I said, we're on a mission. This is a solo ride to Memphis, Tennessee. This is the Fairweather Rider, and I'll be back.
What's up, family? Fairweather Rider. We're gonna call this stop right here a short comfort break. One of the benefits of riding as a solo rider. Good thing I did make this comfort stop because my battery was at 10% on this camera. So during this comfort break, I was able to change the battery. Gonna get back on this road on the mission head to Memphis, Tennessee.
All right, family, we're back on the mission, headed to Memphis, Tennessee. I still got about 160 miles to go until I get to empty. So my goal is to ride for at least 100 miles before I stop for gas. But I will stop if I need another comfort break. I'll tune back in once I'm ready to go across the Mississippi border. For this ride, I think I have a pretty good idea of where it is. Fairweather Rider, I'm putting some miles on this Indian Pursuit. I'm out riding today, y'all. Let's get it. All right, family, we just crossed into Mississippi. Let's see if we get a sign that says welcome to Mississippi. Yeah, I see it. The next border we'll cross will be into Tennessee. But I'm sure I'm going to have at least one more stop before then, if not two, depending on whether I need a comfort break and how much gas I'm going to need to get there. All right. We're now in Mississippi, family. Let's keep putting some miles on this Indian Pursuit as I stay on mission to get to Memphis, Tennessee. Thanks for joining me on my journey. I'll check back in soon, Fairweather Rider. I'll be back.
What's up, family? Fairweather Rider. My gas hand started to get a little low, so I decided it was best for me to stop and get some gas before I continue my mission to get to Memphis, Tennessee. So this is gas stop number 1 that I'm going to call a gas stop / comfort break. I'm going to put some gas in the Pursuit, go in the store and get me something with some electrolytes, take my vitamins, and then I'm going to get back on this road headed to Memphis, Tennessee. What's up, family? Peabo the Fairweather Rider coming at you. I just stopped at this Sprint Mart to top off on gas and to take a comfort break. So one of the things that we talked about when I was on my way from Tulsa was whether or not the disconnect between the gas gauge and what's in the tank was user error or mechanical.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto I-55 North Frontage Road.
So what I can tell you is this. When I stop pumping gas at the point where the automatic stop engages, the gas gauge seems to go up above 200 miles. My only issue is when I keep pumping, I'm still not going above the field line. In fact, I'm not even getting close to the field line. It's still about an inch before I get to the field line when I stop pumping. So I don't know, maybe there's something I need to talk about, or maybe there's something I need to just deal with. I don't know. Either way, I don't like it. I think we're about 200 miles before we get to the Tennessee border. Let's put some miles on this pursuit, y'all. What's up, family? Fairweather Rider just coming to you with another update on my mission to get to Memphis, Tennessee. I've decided to stop at this rest stop. Of course, I don't need gas because you don't get gas from a rest stop. I'm still good on gas. Probably gonna be good on gas.
In a quarter mile, merge onto I-55 North.
Probably gonna be good on gas until I get a little closer to Memphis or to the Tennessee border. I need to send a text message, and I don't want to do that while I'm riding. I could do it. In order to do it, I would have to connect my helmet to the Android Auto, and then I can use voice command to send text. But I cannot connect my helmet to the Android Auto and still talk to you guys. And once I send this text message, I'm going to get back on the road on a mission to get to Memphis, Tennessee. Thank you all for staying with me throughout this journey. Why don't you do me a favor and go ahead on and subscribe to the channel, and let's grow this channel together.
What's up, family? Fairweather Rider. About to get back on this road heading to Memphis, Tennessee. As I said before, I think I got about 150 miles or so before I get to the border, Tennessee border. And right across the Tennessee border is when you head right into Memphis, Tennessee. So let's get back on this road. Let's put some miles on this pursuit. Got at least one more stop to get some gas before I reach my final destination, which is my dad's house. So let's get it, y'all. I'm putting some miles on this Indian pursuit today.
This is the Fairweather Rider channel. I am Peabo the Fairweather Rider.
In a quarter mile, merge onto I-55 North.
We're about to get back on I-55, headed north to Memphis, Tennessee. We're putting miles on this Indian pursuit today. Even though the temperature is probably over 80 degrees, it's kind of cloudy out with a good breeze, so it feels real good out here. I'm about to put some miles on this pursuit, y'all. I'll check back in with y'all once I make my next gas stop. And hopefully, just seeing me out here enjoying riding this bike the way I do will inspire someone to take that bike that you like so much and put some miles on it. What's up, family? It's that time again. This is what I hope will be my last gas stop before I get to Memphis. As I said, I'm still on mission, making good time. What I might do before I go holler at my dad is to see if there's a cycle gear anywhere in Memphis. I think it's time for me to replace these gloves I'm wearing. I've ridden with these things a couple of times, and as you can see, look at there. It's the same thing on my left hand, where the parts where I'm supposed to be able to swipe with the phone, they no longer work. Well, I should say they work half the time.
In 600 feet, make a U-turn.
And the reason they work half the time is because they've been rained on a couple of times. They've been soaked. They're not even the same color they were when I first got them. You'll probably go back and look at some of the first videos I made with me wearing these gloves, and you can tell that they're faded. So now I think it's time just to get a different pair. I would like to get a pair of waterproof gloves that I can wear all year round. So family, I'm going to get this gas. I may try to find something to drink to get hydrated. Maybe some with some electrolytes. I have the Kroger right there, so I might go right over there, hit that Kroger, get some with some electrolytes. And then I'm going to make this final stretch to Memphis, Tennessee. Y'all know what this is. This is the Fairweather Rider. I'm putting miles on this Indian Pursuit.
Okay. So it's a 5.5 gallon tank, and we got just about 5 gallons. So I'm gonna take it up to 5, then I'm gonna leave it there. Okay. I'm gonna stop it right there, and then I'm gonna see if that right there makes a difference. I'm still nowhere near the field line. I'm about to put on my helmet just to ride right over there. I'm gonna do it anyway, so I'm taking the chances. I don't want to what I don't want to do is inadvertently violate any laws that I'm not aware of. You know, in some states you can get away without wearing a helmet, and some you must wear one. Don't know which state this is, so even though I'm only going to be in the parking lot, driving about 300 feet, I'm going to wear the helmet. Hey guys, the meter went up to over 200, so maybe there is something trying to tell me that I'm the problem and not the machine. We're going to find out though. I'm going to do it again next time. I'll be back, y'all, when we get ready to hit this road. I'm about to go in here and give me some electrolytes and maybe some fruit. Fairweather Rider, put miles on this Pursuit. As I said before, take that bike that you say you like so much and put some miles on it today.
All right, family. I was able to get to Cycle Gear in time. I was able to check on a pair of gloves, and what I learned is that even though they are designed for wet weather, it's not best to wear them in all weather. When it gets hot, no air gets through, so it's definitely not good to wear during the summertime. Since I got them for a pretty reasonable price, I only wear them when it's raining or when it's a little chilly outside, because with no ventilation, that means they're getting no air. These gloves I'm wearing now, these in-the-wrist gloves, and even in the warm weather, they're comfortable because I'm getting some ventilation where I can feel the wind blowing and hitting my hands through the gloves, through the ventilation of the gloves. I didn't even bother to check on the boots. I looked around at some of the boots that were on display and realized I didn't like any of them. So now I'm back on mission to get to my dad's house.
In half a mile.
All right, everybody.
Time for
I'm
drive.
gonna turn off the navigation because I know the way from here. Just about at my dad's house.
Then turn right onto Selden Cove.
I can't even turn off my navigation because the gloves are messed up. Good thing I figured out that that button on the left side does something. I'm gonna talk about that on the way back. To make the correction of the information that I put out while I was doing the test ride. While I was doing the test ride, I said that this button over here on the left side didn't do anything. I was wrong, and I will explain.